Hello and welcome to the fourth episode of the Can't Choose, Won't Choose podcast. I am joined by the stand-up comedian and podcast host as well, Tegan Marlow, who currently resides in Manchester, I believe.
Yes, indeed. Hi.
Yeah. So tell me, Tegan, have you noticed many differences between the south and the north?
Oh yeah, big time. You lot don't fuck about with the gravy up here, do you? Let's cut straight to it. In London, if you go for like a roast dinner at the pub, you'll get at best a jus, right? Whereas here, you're like, yeah, all the gravy, and like here's some extra gravy on the side just in case. And if you ask for more gravy, that's totally fine. Whereas if you're in London, it's like, yeah, it's an extra £5, please. Like, it's just not. Also, you love bread with everything. What's that about? You love a bread roll with like a fish and chips.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And we call them bread cakes in Yorkshire.
Oh, bread cake. My apologies.
It's a controversial point. I've seen many a meme about it, and
I know. Why is that the biggest thing in the UK? Is that we all can't agree on like what to call a bread. A piece of bread.
I know, it's mad, isn't it? It's mad. And I think
a barm.
Like, a barm. Yeah, who cares? It's just bread in it.
In it. But anyway, it's our version of, I don't even know, like gun control or something. We can't agree.
Is there anything like down south where they go a bit mad over it, where they don't up the north? You know, like the gravy version in London. I'm trying to think.
Tory politics.
That's a good one.
We love a Waitrose. No, not everyone down south is a Tory. I need to stop perpetuating that stereotype because I don't want people to think ill of me. I don't know. I would need someone to live my experience in reverse and tell me, because like from my point of view, everything's kind of normal. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, one fun fact. So I'm from Reading. Well, I'm from a town called Fleet, but I was born in Reading and my parents live in Reading now. And
Nice.
In Reading, they call, wood lice, they call them cheese logs. No idea why.
Logs.
But only Reading. No other area in the south calls them a cheese log. But that's just what like my parents have a friend who was at Reading, born and bred, and they were like, oh, like this is something about wood lice. I don't know why wood lice came up in conversation. And she was like, what's that? Like she'd never heard of a wood lice. She's like, I don't know what that is. And they were like, that little, she's like, oh, a cheese log.
What the?
So there you go, fun fact.
That's a fun fact for the day. That sounds more appetizing than it is today. Saying that to a kid, there's a cheese log down there, they might eat one.
It sounds grim.
No.
Why cheese? What's cheese got to do with it? I don't know. I'm concerned, but I'm ignoring it.
Maybe some absolute nut job ate one day and thought it tastes like Gouda.
Oh God, yeah, maybe someone ate one. Oh, I didn't think about that. Yeah, probably someone ate one and was like, cheesy.
Anyway.
Oh God. That's the South.
Is this like your lunch break as well, or?
It is, yeah.
This is getting us in the appetite, isn't it?
Well, exactly, yeah, buzzing.
Moving to another subject. So I did watch some of your YouTube channel as well.
Oh, you've done all your homework. Look at you.
Yeah. Done a bit of it. This is the 4th podcast I've done, and the first 3 I just completely blagged it. I've actually done a bit of research for this one, I think.
Oh, I feel honoured.
But I know she did a Love Island spoof, which is quite funny. Did the neighbours see, or did
the neighbours? Probably did, to be honest, because that was in lockdown. So this is what I did in lockdown. I made this series called Tracy on TV, which is on YouTube. It's just this character called Tracy doing all these various different reality shows. Like, so Love Island was one. I did like Bake Off, I'm a Celebrity, all of that. And that one was filmed. I think there were a couple that were filmed in the garden, and I think the neighbours and also I just moved there at this point. That was actually my boyfriend's house. I just moved there, like so the neighbours were like, who the fuck is this girl? Like, go back down south. But
asking a boyfriend for a chat in the garden.
I know I think they were probably very confused. But also we had a bit of beef with them actually, because they used to like party until 3 a.m. and it would just be like really loud, and in the room that was like next to our bed, like upstairs, it was really weird. Like they weren't doing it in the living room, they would do it in like one of the bedrooms, so it was like literally one wall between them and us, our bedroom, and we were trying to get to sleep, and it was like 3 a.m. and they were just like pumping out rave music. We had to go around there and be like, sorry, can you turn it down? It's 3 a.m. And they were like, oh, okay. And then they went back, so we heard them through the walls being like, fuck them, turn it up. And I was like, no. So we had a bit of drama with them actually. So actually, if they did watch me doing Love Island, I don't care.
No, it's good.
Bit of entertainment for them. They should pay me.
Yeah, they should.
They
In
owe
Love
me.
Island bottles. They absolutely do. I agree. And I'll be, after watching the YouTube videos, I feel like I could be on the jury for it as well.
Oh.
But, yeah. Right. So on to comedy stuff, because you are a stand-up comedian, according to your Twitter bio.
Apparently, yeah.
Do you remember your first ever experience on stage?
I do. So my first gig was in December 2018. The 10th, if you wanted to know. I'm the kind of person that remembers like dates and stuff really, like, anyway, for like no reason. 10th of December. It was at this night in London called Comedy Virgins. And which was very apt because I was a comedy virgin. And it was in this pub, and it had like a separate room in the pub, which had a very kind of cabaret theatre little vibe, and it was very cute. Loved it. It was very camp. And basically I watched my ex-boyfriend do a show there, and it was very good vibes. Like, loads of people were there doing it for the first time, and like no one heckled them, and it seemed really safe. And I was like, oh, okay, this looks like fun. So I signed my name up for the following month, went down there 10th of December, and like, do you know what? Absolutely smashed it. No word of a lie. Because they used to do this little thing. They used to do like a little competition. And at the end of the show, they do like a clap off, like a cheer off, to determine like the audience's favorite act, because they'd have like 20 acts on in one night. Everyone's doing like 5 minutes, and I won the little trophy. So the audience liked me the most, even though it was my first ever gig. And I was like, oh my god, I am literally going to be on Live at the Apollo. I was like, wow. I was like, Hollywood, here I come. And then and then I went back like a couple of weeks later, because I was like, well, I'm definitely going to try to do this again. Went back a couple of weeks later, got a bit cocky, had a couple of wines before I went on stage, absolutely died on my ass. It was a very humbling experience. So my first gig, amazing. Second gig, terrible. But that was good. I mean, I needed that perspective, I think.
Yeah. I suppose, so the first one you're completely sober?
I think so, yeah, I think so. Because I was super nervous. Or maybe I'd had like one when I was in London. So I performed for like, I was gigging in London for like a year, and then obviously lockdown happened, and I moved up north, and then I kind of was in Manchester. But and then when I gig in Manchester, I like more often than not I'm driving, so I don't have a drink. But when I was in London, I'd always have my one glass of wine before going on, just to like settle the nerves. But I think this night I must have had like 3, and it was just too many. One glass of wine is like the ideal, because you're like loose, but you're not a mess.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm like, I'm a massive lightweight. So if I have more than one, I'm like, I start slurring. It's not cute.
I think it's like the free pint threshold works perfectly for me.
Yes, like, so there you go.
Any time after that, I could kill a kitten. I've never done that, but you know what I mean? Like, can go off the rails. That was the analogy, definitely. In case the RSPCA are watching. But yeah, that sounds mad. Did you like rehearse 10 minutes for it, or did you just go on and blag it?
So in London, 10 minutes is very much not a thing until you're like, when you're first starting out, it's always 5s, and it's always bringers. You always have to bring a friend with you. It's humiliating. It's probably not violating human rights, to be honest, but we move. So yeah, that first year I was just doing 5 minutes. But yeah, I remember like, so before the first gig, I was at my parents' house, and I just rehearsed it over and over again in the shed. Because I didn't want them to hear me. I was like, lie. Like, don't come in the shed. So yeah, so I am very much like a scripted kind of person. Like, I need to write it all out as like a script, and then like rehearse it over and over again, like on my own. So if anyone walked in, they'd think I was mental. So it is a bit cringe, but you have to just get over it. But yeah, so I definitely like rehearsed big time for that.
Yeah, I recall when I got married like 6 months ago, and when I was doing my wedding speech.
Oh, congrats!
Oh, thank you. It's still going. It's going all right. But yeah, it's weird, like watching yourself back and listening to your voice and stuff like that. It can be a bit cringy, can't it? But
oh yeah, it's awful. But you do just have to like push it aside, because that's the only way you'll get better, is if you like watch yourself back. And because I've stopped doing it, which is bad. I need to do it more. But like, I do, whenever I'm doing new stuff, I'll always film it. But actually, I think I should film it even when I'm doing the standard stuff, because I watched a clip of my set only from like July this year, and I was like, oh my god, that's shit. Even though it's the same material I'm still doing now, but I'm like, oh my God, that performance was awful. Like, and I was like, not even that much has changed, but it's just so weird. It's like, I think you do sort of change your delivery and stuff the more you do it, kind of it gets better. But yeah, it's good. It's interesting to look back and be like, oh, that's how I used to say it. That's really weird.
Yeah, it's good to rewrite it though. I think definitely it's the only way to improve, like you said. Other part of my research, I noticed your pin tweet where you do stand up with the two friends, Alex and Molly.
Yeah, well, we're putting on a show. I don't always perform with them. In fact, I don't think I've ever actually shared a bill with them because it's that typical thing of being a female comedian is like you never actually get to gig with other women because you're always just like the one token female on the bill. Yeah. So we're never at the same gigs. So I've never actually. I mean, I have gigged with. I think I've gigged them once before, but that was because it was like a female specific night. But yeah, so we're doing a show for the Women in Comedy Festival. So we're just doing like a split bill. All three of us are doing like 20 minutes each. So it's like an hour-long show. But yeah, basically, yeah, just like a fun show for the gays and the girlies is what I would market it as. But everyone's welcome. Cane and Grain, 6th of October, be there.
Oh, that's good. Is there like so it's 20 minutes, you go on, introduce them, they go on, sort of thing. It's not like
but to be fair, we haven't actually like pinned down the logistics, but it's kind of it's that sort of thing that I think a lot of people do this when they go up to Edinburgh for the first time. They'll kind of split a show, like split an hour with other acts if they don't have like an hour of material yet. So I don't know what the running order is going to be, but yeah, essentially one after the other. One person does 20 minutes, introduces the next person, blah blah. But yeah, so yeah, I don't think there'll be like an MC. It will just be like whoever's on first introduces and whoever's on last kind of wraps it up. But yeah, so that should be fun because as I say, I've never actually really got to gig with these girls. I've seen them before, but like we've never really got to gig together because of the way things are. So
the current climate.
Yeah. So I'm excited. That should be fun.
It sounds exciting. I've always wanted to kind of, I don't know, introduce someone where you can do that like Brian Blessed bellowing voice to the next person, like introducing in the blue.
I know. I really want to get in more into like hosting and doing like emceeing and stuff because I've done it once before and I absolutely loved it. But like unless you want to start your own show, it's hard to like get that experience. I've like I really want to do it more because I love it. I love kind of just like not really having to like be one of the acts and just being able to just like have a bit banter and just like not there's like less pressure. I don't know. I think doing the Brian Blessed odds, the bellow.
But yeah, I'm guessing like you can use improv a little bit more, can't you? And react off the audience and not just go for script.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I need to get better at. But also I do kind of enjoy it because I think I'm quite a chatty person, so I quite enjoy just sort of chatting to people. And I think I've only emceed once before, but it was very much like a very sudden. I didn't have any time to prepare. I basically had to step in for someone else who last minute had dropped out very last minute. So I was like, okay, I'll just do it. But like I didn't know what I was going to do. But it actually went really well. It was like this massive like charity gig, and I was just like, I don't know what I'm doing, but like just went on and just. I think once you've watched an MC, and I've like kind of read. Freddie Quinn has a book about MCing, which I've read, which is quite useful because there is quite a standard practice to it. Yeah, obviously, like
he's the guy with a beard from he's been on Have a Word and
But it's a good book. I'd recommend it. But there's probably loads of like guides out there and like how to. I feel like there is quite like a standard, but obviously you do have to put your own flair on it and have fun, don't you? But I just want to do that more. But I'm kind of caught in between because I really want to like host more, but then I'm terrified to start my own night because it's a lot of work and I'm scared. I'm scared of the pressure. I think I just get really anxious about having an audience. I'm like, oh my God, no one's going to turn up. Like, just like shit myself every week. Like, that was literally my Edinburgh experience. Like, every day in Edinburgh, I had a nervous breakdown because we were flyering and because it was like free fringe, you have to just get people in. And I was just like, oh my God, we're not going to have an audience. There's going to be no one in.
Can't imagine. I saw so much on Twitter where people will just the flyering experience. And I saw like a video from Bobby Mayer just screaming at people
with his baby.
Yeah,
that was quite iconic.
I think I've never been to Edinburgh, but I can imagine it gets so kind of not competitive because everyone's kind of in the same boat, but
It is hard to get
Hard to
everyone,
stand
when,
that.
and there's over like 5,000 shows or something, and you're like, how?
Yeah.
Luckily, it was kind of a blessing and a curse because we were on at 12:45,
Hmm.
like lunchtime, which wasn't a great time for our kind of audience. Like, we didn't really get many young people. It was mostly like old people. Like, when you're flying at that time, the only people walking past your venue are old people and families. I'm like, well, I can't fly to families because it's an 18+ show. And then I'm like, do I want, like, to be fair, we had so many old people and they were fucking up for it. They were great. But like, you're just a bit like, are you going to be a bit Brexity? I don't know. I
Yeah.
should judge people. But yeah, it was a tough time, definitely. And yeah, not made any better by me being like overthinking everything and being like, oh my God, we're not going to get an audience in. And oh my God, they're going to like me. And it was always fine. Like, there was only like 2 shows that were bad. And then one of them was just laughably bad because I don't know what happened, but it was just hilarious. And then one of them was all just Danish and German tourists who didn't know what we were talking about. So I was like, well, that's not on me.
Yeah.
Well, that's
No,
on you,
definitely
from an
not.
English
Definitely
speaking
not.
show.
Yeah. And it's
So,
like,
yeah.
I feel like if one goes slightly bad, that's probably the worst scenario. But if one goes really bad, then it's just funny, isn't it? It's just comical.
I think
if
it's because
going that
at
bad.
once, so during the first week we were doing 2 shows every day, like back to back, which was a lot. But on one of the days we did the first show and absolutely smashed it. Like, it went really well. I think it was a Saturday as well, so it was really good vibes. And then we meant to do the second show, which we thought, oh my God, this is going to be even better because it's slightly later in the day. We're going to get more people in. Like, it's going to be amazing. We probably half filled the room, and they literally just stared at us. I don't know what happened. The
like an
vibes
animal
were
exhibit, like a zoo.
yeah, it was so weird. The vibes were just so off. And my friend Aaron, who I was doing the show with, he would always go on first, and he hopefully he won't mind me saying this. He did 7 minutes of. I was supposed to be like 25. He did 7. I did 15, and we just bailed. We were just like, this is fucking, because it was just
I
there was just
don't blame you.
nothing. We were getting nothing from it. We were like, this is awful. So then I went on second. Yeah, I did like 15 to try and like hold it together, but it was just awful. And they weren't going for me either. And then at the end, like normally I do at the bucket speech, and Aaron was at the back of the room just doing this. So I was like, yeah, and I was like, that's the end of the, no, sorry, that's the end of the show. They didn't clap. They literally didn't even applaud. They were just like, and I just burst out laughing because I was like, oh my God, wow, you're not even clapping. And they were like, oh right. And they woke up, started clapping. I was like, yeah. Started to go do the bucket speech. Aaron was giving this. He was like, don't do it. And I just went, don't give us money. I was like, just don't give us any money. Like, just leave.
Get out.
Actually, we made £25. So somehow someone obviously took pity on us, but
yeah, just one rich guy. Just like
yeah. To be fair, that people are very generous. They do donate very generously at the Fringe. Like, and as I said, like, every other show bar that one and the one with the German tourists went really well. It was just those 2 that were just like, but it's one of those ones that you're just like, you laugh about it because you're like, what? Especially when the first show was so good.
This is what I say, like, that's funny what you just said. It's like, even if you have a bad show, it becomes a story, an anecdote for your next act. So it's never a problem. But if it's like, if you have a bad business meeting, you're just crying in the car park in your course, right?
So true. Any other job, you'd be like gutted. And to be fair, I think you would be gutted if it was like a one-off gig. But I think it's because we literally did the exact same material an hour earlier and killed.
Just
we were like, we're fine. Yeah, we were like, this. We're not the problem here.
We're absolute legends. These are idiots. So.
Yeah, you just didn't get it.
Right, I've written down a few daft questions.
Okay, let's have it.
Thanks for kind of introducing yourself and telling us about your background and stuff. But yeah, now for the stupidity that I've been.
Now for the fun part.
Yeah. So this was a tweet, so I did nick this one, and topical, obviously. And I might release this in a week, so when everyone's calmed down a bit. But yeah, so London Bridge is down was the code for the Queen's death. If you saw that, what do you reckon your code would be when you're about to cop it?
What would my what when I'm gonna die?
Sorry to be morbid, but
no, this is great. Oh my God. Oh. Okay, let me think. It'll be something. London Bridge is down is very like dramatic, and I feel like I would have something quite dramatic as well. Oh, maybe it would be like something about like Fleet services are shut because I grew up in Fleet and we're known for railway services. So I think my London Bridge would be Fleet services. It would be the Scott Mills Bridge. There's a bridge at Fleet. So I used to do a bit
Scott Mills off Radio 1.
The very same. Scott Mills of Radio 1 fame came to Fleet and opened our motorway services bridge.
We normally get Paul Trunkle. We get Paul Trunkle here.
Well, exactly. He's our our version, I guess. I don't know. He's from Hampshire, so so now it's like this iconic bridge. Well, it's not, it's a shit motorway services bridge, but it has its own TripAdvisor page. So I used to do a bit of my stand-up where I like read out the reviews. So yeah, my version would be the Scott Mills Bridge is down.
I absolutely love that. I love that. If I see that on Twitter or Fleet Services or
you'll
Scott
know.
Mills is down,
I'm gone.
it's gone. I'll just one single tear. Oh god, that's brilliant. Right, so I also noticed you're a four in a bed stan.
Oh, I
your
love
Twitter
four in
bio.
bed.
If you were a host, do you think you'd be more the strict side or more the lenient?
Oh, as in like when I'm judging other people?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely lenient. I haven't got the time or the effort to be looking for hairs in beds. Who knows? Actually, maybe once the power's on me, maybe I would change. But I like to think I would be quite lenient. I think I wouldn't really give a shit. I'm here for a good time. Do you know what I mean? I'm not about to mark people down. I'd probably mark people down if I didn't like them as a person. But if you have a good banter and you're a nice person, that's fine. I'll give you 10 out of 10, even if you've got dirt on the sink. I don't care, as long as it's a good time.
If it's a complete shithole, if you sound,
yeah, it's a travelodge. I'm like 10 out of 10. If you've got good jokes, I'm like, that's fine. I'll give you a 10.
I like it because they put like the money in it. Is it in an envelope they put it, or do they just
put it in an envelope and then it's all revealed on payment day?
So dramatic, isn't it? It's like London
The
Bridge
payment day episode. I mean, you may have seen this on Twitter, when I found this alarm, you know, on iPhones you can save alarms. And I set an alarm during the depths of lockdown when things were like pretty desperate. And I found it the other day. I had set an alarm for 5 p.m. It was called Payment Day Beef. So I set an alarm to remind myself to watch Four in a Bed. Because I don't know why I needed to even set an alarm. I had nothing else to do all day. I was on furlough. I was doing absolutely F all. But I was like, I need to watch the Payment Day episode of Four in a Bed. I was very invested because they have because they show it every day, and then on the Friday, because they have the 4 episodes.
The Payment Day is the best episode.
Payment Day is on the Friday, and I was like, I've been watching it all week. I was like, I'm invested in it. I need to watch the Payment Day episode, so I set my alarm.
Is there ever ones that are snakes where they're really complimentary and they give a really good review, but they still underpay?
My god, there was a famous case there. I believe they've actually taken the episode off 4D because it was upsetting. But there was one where there was this couple, I think they're called Helen and Stuart. It was definitely Helen, and they they went to every property and they seemingly had a lovely time every single one. And then on Payment Day they turned and there's a Scouse woman who absolutely lost her shit at them. She was like, "How dare you!" She stormed out, was crying. It was this whole she was threw the book. It was like, she'd been blindsided by this evil couple. Oh, I was cackling. That was in lockdown as well. Oh god, I was just absolutely loved it.
I need to watch that. I need to find that in the vault.
I know that. Do you know what? I made a thread on Twitter of all the best episodes to watch. So check that out. All the best drama.
Absolutely will. Right, I've got some other would you rather. We'll rattle through these until the Zoom limit goes, because I'm absolute tin pot podcast. But yeah. So would you rather, I know you're a fan of Love Island, mentioning your spoof, live in the villa with unlimited snacks or unlimited booze?
Unlimited snacks, always. Couldn't give a shit about the booze, to be honest. But I'm not a huge drinker, so I do enjoy a little glass of Savvy B, Sauvignon Blanc, to any heathens. But not asked about the booze, so I'd probably just take all the snacks, especially if they're Pringles. I agree.
And the booze, I feel like they always get too pissed off at too little booze.
I do things I'd regret. Yeah. I would. Is this being filmed? Yeah, I mean, it's just definitely snacks over booze, always.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Number 2, would you rather accidentally call your boss mum or hug your friend from behind only to realise it's a complete stranger? Don't know if you've done either of them.
Option 2, because if they're a stranger, who cares? I'm never going to see them again. It's awkward in the moment, but you'll move on from it and we can probably have a laugh about it. Call my boss mum is just cringe, and that will stay with me forever. It will stay with her forever. It will stay with it will get everyone to find out, and it would just be like, you know what I mean? It would just be one of those things like, oh, don't mind, you can call her mum. So yeah, I think option 2, because you can move on from it.
I agree. And the Christmas party become the daughter of the boss.
It would be insufferable. News travels around fast at my company, so yeah, can't be having that.
You're so decisive.
Yeah. I am, yeah.
I'm guessing you weren't remotely like me, so this might not apply completely, but yeah,
Mm.
would you, I don't know where I got this, I Googled this one. Would you rather your co-worker walks in on you while you're on the toilet, or your co-worker walks in the room while you're bitching about them?
Oh my God, that's really hard. No, I do. Oh God. Because the toilet thing, that is like a nightmare. Like that is like, I worry about that a lot. But then bitching about them, I'm the bad person. Whereas if they walk in, they're the bad person. So I'm gonna go toilet, even though it's horrific. I think we'd move on from it, and then they would feel bad, and I would be like the victim, which I love. Whereas if I'm the one bitching, then like I'm the bitch. So like what frames me better? Option one.
Yeah,
Gotta think about the PR spin.
yeah, I completely agree. And I mean, I think there's nuances to this. It's like, which co-worker? Are you close with them? If it's a weird co-worker who's never really speaks and he's just creepy, or she's creepy, and they walk in the toilet, they might try and do it again. You don't.
No, I think it would be fine as long as I'm, as long as I'm not wearing a jumpsuit. Because if you're wearing a jumpsuit or a play suit, your tits are out. You know what I mean? There's no hiding when you're wearing it, because you got to remove it all. Whereas if you're wearing if I was wearing a dress, stunning, because you just lift, there would be nothing on display. Nothing would even be seen. It'd be fine, but I would still carry that. They would. I think they would be more embarrassed, and I would just, it'd be fine. I would, I would carry that like victimhood.
So jumpsuits HR issue, dresses
big time.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm never going to wear a jumpsuit now to the office, just in case.
Me neither. So number 4 is, I made this one up, so apologies again. No, would you rather, see, when you're in the hair salon, would you rather so you don't speak for the entire time that you sat in the chair, you just stare at the person in the mirror who's cutting your hair without saying anything, you never explain yourself, and then you just leave silently? Or would you rather have to, do you drive?
Yeah.
Every time you drive, you have to wear a mask of Simon Cowell's face.
What the hell? Okay, wait. So the hairdresser one, is this a one-off situation, or is this every time I get my hair cut?
I'm going to say every time.
Every time, right? Okay, and then the Simon Cowell one. Thing is, I love a chat at the hairdressers. I am that annoying. So I feel like you have to, so otherwise it's just really awkward. But then the mask thing is fucking weird, because what if I get pulled over? Not that I ever have. Can I take it off as soon as I leave the car? I can take it off. I just also feel like it would. No, I'm going to have to go hairdresser, because I'm not a relaxed driver, and I think having a mask on would stress me out. I like to be very comfortable when I'm driving.
So it's nothing to do with the other drivers seeing you as Simon Cowell.
It's not anything about the embarrassment, because who cares? They're only going to drive. You know what I mean? It's fine. They're not going to. It's more about the hindering of my visibility and the safety implications, to be honest. So that's all I'm here. That's all I'm worried about. So unfortunately, I'd have to take the hit with the hairdressers and just have a very awkward moment. I don't go to the hairdressers that often anyway, so I think I could live with it. Be fine. I cut my own hair.
Yeah, that's a good point. Do you go to the same one every time? You're quite loyal, or do you?
I have started doing that. Yeah, I have started going to the same one. I've been there. Like, she knows my comedian now. We have great chats.
Got the rapport.
So yeah, I couldn't do that to her. I'd have to find a new hairdressers. But you know what? It's a risk I'm willing to take.
Yeah. Whereas if you get into a severe crash, Simon Cowell mask,
there's just no coming back from that, is there? No. Imagine my obituary. Imagine the write-up in Shortle. No, I'm joking. I wouldn't make it into Shortle, but in the news, the local news.
And the other kind of stipulation, like, you can't tell anyone before you're doing it. So it's like all your family are like, she died wearing what?
I kind of love that, because I would die and then everyone would be like, what the hell was she doing? They'd be like, oh, wow, she was such a mysterious character.
What an enigma.
Yeah, they'd think I was like, they'd be like, wow, she's so quirky and random, and they'll never know why I was doing it. And they'll be like, that's hilarious. Like, what a funny way for her to go out. I want to go out with humor,
Yeah, 100%.
So 100%. Maybe now I'm leaning more towards the mask. Oh, no, I can't risk it. Nothing's worth dying for. Even if it's funny.
Right, number 5. Would you rather be 8 feet tall or 3 feet tall?
Oh my God, 3 feet tall. Because how
Really?
cute. Yeah, although I wouldn't have to do anything.
Definitely the cuter one.
It would be cute. But actually, no, because how would I perform? No one would be able to see me. 3
Is it?
feet is actually all right, isn't it?
I
No,
don't know,
3 feet is like dwarf. It's like
I think it's
dwarfism,
dwarf
right?
level. Yeah. I think
Okay.
there must be a dwarf comedian.
There is, yeah, George Cookham, icon.
There you go.
Warwick Davis. I mean, he's an actor, but anyway.
Edge.
Oh, 8 feet is tall though.
Mm.
That's very tall. And I feel like, not to be, but like for a woman, it's just, I don't know.
It's
I like
noticeable.
being small. I like being small. I like being cute. So I'm gonna go 3 feet because I could play up to it. I'd be like, well, I've got a big personality to make up for it. I would style it out.
But the 8-foot one walking down the high street, yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd get more awkward stares. Whereas 3 feet, I feel like is manageable. That's fine.
Yeah. It's with your hairstyle, I've just noticed as well, make you even taller.
This adds like a foot on for sure. Honestly, yeah, this is like defying gravity, but
Might win a Guinness World Record, you never know.
Oh my gosh, look that up actually.
Right, I've got two more quick fire ones we'll do, and then
Let's do it. Let's have it.
Land it. Would you rather have one giant eyebrow or 0? No.
If I have 0, can I draw them on?
No.
Can't like tattoo them on or anything. I think no eyebrows, because then it's like, oh bless her, like she's lost her eyebrows. It looks more tragic, and I look like the victim.
I think you want to be a bit.
I do. I think if there's one monobrow, it's just like she needs to sort herself out. Like she obviously isn't aware that she needs to pluck her eyebrows. Do you know what I mean? I feel like I'd get more judgment for the monobrow. I think it would look worse. But then you do need to, because actually even with one, you wouldn't even be able to like make expressions because you need the gap.
Just lifting one eyebrow look when you're surprised.
You wouldn't be able to, yeah. So I think I would go no eyebrows, because then I'm also devoid of any kind of responsibility.
You just want an easy life, Tegan.
I want an easy life, and I want to be the victim.
But
I don't want to be the perpetrator.
Yeah. Right, last one. Right. I found this one, and I found this quite a hard one to decide. Would you rather have a face that everyone laughs at, or a name that everyone laughs at?
A name that everyone laughs at. You can easily change the name, and also I would like both of these things, to be honest, because both of them are great for comedy. But I would think the name, because then then I can like go on stage, introduce myself, and like make a joke about it. Honestly, like I'm kind of struggling because I'm not having either of these things, because most people, like when they come on stage, they'll make a joke about their appearance, or they'll make a joke about their name, or like, and I'm just like, I feel like I don't have that. If anyone can think of anything hilarious about my appearance or that I can draw upon, I don't know. So yeah, actually, I think I'd take either of those, but I think the name is probably easier to come around. So I think, I would go name.
I think with the name, the only kind of stipulation where it might be a bit hard is if you're ringing up a energy bill company.
I don't deal with any of that shit. I'm too famous. I'm joking. But I don't I don't. My boyfriend does all of that. I don't do like.
Okay. So then
I'm a diva.
So the name would be perfect, wouldn't it? You could pull it off as a stage name. It's like Olaf Falafel.
Yeah. I think it would be great. I think it would actually help my career, if anything. So
Tegan Falafel.
Tegan Falafel.
Yeah.
It needs work.
It does. Tegan cheese roll.
Cheese log.
Cheese log.
Yeah, big up Reading, big up the cheese logs. I mean, don't big up the cheese logs. I don't want them near me, but but I would take that as a name, because it would be a talking point. And who am I to say no to that?
So attention, victimhood, and
attention, being the victim. Yeah, not having any responsibility. Yeah, easy life.
Love it. Me too. I agree. And then last but not least, is there anything you want to kind of promote?
Well, I've mentioned it already, but anyone in the Manchester area, come along to Gorgeous Gorgeous Girls, which is the show I'm doing with the fabulous Alex Stringer and Molly McGuinness. It's going to be very fun. It's at 9 p.m. at Cane and Grain in the Northern Quarter on the 6th of October. So, yeah, part of the Women in Comedy Festival. So you can get your tickets on the Women in Comedy Festival website. Oh, can you hear that?
Oh, yeah, that could.
That was really, sorry, that was not good. Anyway, come to my show. Thanks.
What about the Factor 50 as well?
Also, yeah, I mean, I'm not really doing it anymore because it was kind of a flop. But you know, if you want to go back and watch / listen to any other episodes, I had some great guests on there. The Factor 50 podcast, available everywhere you get your podcasts. Talking about holidays, it's very fun.
Everyone tune in. Right, thank you very much. Cheers.
Thank you.